Dirkens here. Well, tonight I'm going to preview a team who's produced players like Phillip Rivers, Mario Williams, Torrey Holt, Haywood Jeffries, that Roman guy, and most recently, Bradley, I'll still ever tell you got on the team bus, Chubb. Who am I talking about? The NC State Wolfpack. Now, if you're viewing this and you're not a Clemson fan, you don't know what I'm about to talk about. Well, most likely. Just sit and listen. It's entertaining. Now, last year, Clemson went up there and played them. And I'm telling you, NC State was playing hard. NC State had a fantastic defense. Clemson and NC State always plays each other close. I mean, for the most part. I mean, there's years where one gets the other, maybe a little more. There's a couple of years ago, Clemson just beat the living piss out of them. But over the past couple of years especially, NC State and Clemson has went back and forth. Even a couple of years ago, went into triple overtime. It was nuts. Clemson goes up there, they're playing. Bradley Chubb, man, this guy, he play football. Good football player. Don't know anything about him off the field, so this ain't personal attack. I'm just talking about what went on in the football field. He just kept pulling all their, and taking all their towels that they wipe their hands on. You see the football players that stuck down here? Just kept taking them. Oh, Bobby, he was just trying to get in their head. That's the stupidest way to try to get in the defending national champion's head. I mean, they've come off the likes of playing Alabama. They've come off the likes of beating Ohio State 31-0. And the best thing you can do is take a rag. That is the dumbest thing that I've ever seen and heard until the post-game interview with their coach. I've heard there's a laptop on that sideline. I'd like for that to be investigated. It's called social media, Dave. Social media. Well, the rules state that social media. Let me tell you this. They don't need somebody over there cheating to beat you. You got a real good football team. They didn't have to. That game went down fair and square. In fact, between me and you, they underperformed. They played kind of pissy to me. They'd have played throttle. They'd have put the pedal to the metal. They'd beat you guys by 2 or 3 touchdowns. Sorry. I felt like they pissed around with you guys. Because I watched you the week before when you played Notre Dame, and Notre Dame beat you 35. I had to look down the score, 35-14. I watched that game. You couldn't do anything good. You couldn't even piss straight against Notre Dame. So, to me, that was pretty classless. Well, and I know that people from NC State side, well, you know, you're upset when you're mad. Yeah, that's why you may need to delay that coaches conference if you're going to get up there and say something that stupid. Dabo Swinney is not perfect, but he's a pretty stand-up guy, and he's not going to, of all rules, he's not going to break. He's over there with an open laptop where, at least 30,000 people on that side could see that. That's just craziness. And so anyway, let's talk about the football season. Last year they had, what's that kid, Nyheim Hines? That guy could play. I mean, that guy, he rushed for over 1,000 yards. You had that Samuel fella. Of course, Ryan Finley, he'll be back this coming year. On the defensive side of the ball, outrageous talent. Bradley Chubb, Gerard Fernandez, Moore, Boone, Hill. I mean, just a bunch of good players. Here's the thing. You only return 3 starters on the defense, and Chubb's nowhere to be found. He's gone. He's stealing towels in the NFL. He does that in the NFL, they'll kill him. It'll just be a love tap. But anyway, on the offensive side of the ball, you do return Ryan Finley. That's a big deal. You have a very promising freshman, Ricky Person. He's going to be playing running back for you, according to everybody. I've been hearing good things about him. You do have a really good wide receiver in that Kelvin Harmon and Jacoby Myers. And those players, they can play football. So it's not like it's a total wash or you just lost everything. But at the end of the day, losing Samuel and Hines is going to be massive because I sat and watched NC State play a lot. I watch the teams that Clemson has to play. I watch them. I know more about Gamecock football than what Gamecocks know about Gamecock football. I know everybody's going to hate me for that. I know more about Wake Forest football than a lot of Wake Forest fans. Why? Clemson plays them. So I definitely want to pay attention to those players. With that said, doesn't mean I like it. Doesn't mean I sit around and stew about it. But I will tell you this. Losing those 2 players on the offense and then that mirage of players you've lost on the defense is not a good fit for you. Over the past, I will say this before I go into your future, Last year you 9-4. Year before that 7-6, 7-6, 8-5. And Dave is going into his 6th year. So it's not underwhelming. It's not overwhelming. It's just kind of mediocre. It's kind of like biting into a peach that doesn't taste just, overly flavorful, but it's not completely dried up. That's how your football seasons have been. Let's get into this coming season. It doesn't look good because your schedule is not really hard, but it's not easy. Very first game, you're going to win it. You're going to play James Madison, and you are going to beat the fighting James Madisons. Them guys, they do most of the time field a pretty good team for their division, so don't go take a smoke break or go out and have a beer with your girlfriend the night before, because they could provide some problems, especially with everybody that you lost. But I think you're going to win that game. Next, you play Georgia State. Atlanta's finest. You will beat them. Oh, everything was fine until you played this game. If there's ever been a team that if their quarterback can stay healthy and they can pull a couple of things together, they're going to be a very dangerous team in college football. I did not say that they're going to win the national championship or they'll even make it to the CFP. All I said is they're going to be a problem. It's the West Virginia Mountaineers. You play West Virginia. The only good thing about it is, according to this, it's in Raleigh. And then after that, they're going to kick off the football game. Will Greer is a really good football player. I mean, he plays lights out. He's had physical problems, this, that, and the other. If he is in good shape and you have to play a 90% Will Greer, an 85% Will Greer, I predict you lose. And I believe he will be fine 3 weeks in. I think you're going to lose that ball game. Yeah, it'll be your first loss. You go to Marshall. Great movie. Sit there and get inspirational about. You're going to go beat them. Then you're going to play Virginia. So far, except for West Virginia, your schedule's been pretty chill. You're going to play Virginia. You're going to beat Virginia. What's happened to them? They used to have the Barber twins. They used to have good football players. And now, I mean, they're nothing good for. I mean, they're good for about, I don't know, having a football coach with a really masculine name. I don't know. You'll win that ball game. So far, I've got you at 1, 2, 3, 4, 4-1. Then you're going to play Boston College. Boston College may not have Matt Ryan, but they do have A.J. Dillon, and they're going to beat you. I think they're going to beat you there in your back door. If this would have been last year, I'd say you beat them. I think they're going to beat you this year. I think Boston College is a little tougher than what everybody thinks, and I think that they could be an upset special even for my Tigers if they don't pay attention. So you'll get your second loss there. You're off, and then guess what happens? Oh, Lord, you get to go to Clemson, South Carolina, and y'all get to actually walk around the perimeter of the stadium and look for any open laptops. Oh, the laptops, iPhones, any form of even a pager. Maybe somebody still has a pager. Y'all can look for that and see if maybe, the football gods will speak to you. And Clemson's they're going to rip that stupid logo off the side of your helmet. You know why? Because you deserve it. Especially I've never seen NC State to be classless. I've always seen NC State to have class. I've also always seen NC State to, be a pretty good program. And I'm not saying this about other fans. So if you're out there and you're saying, I'm a fan, you're attacking me. I'm not attacking you, but I would tell you this. Your program took a step back last year. Took a major step back last year. That was just crazy. You're going to get beat that game. This whole little thing where last year you barely lost, the year before that you went into 3 overtimes, that's not happening this year. You're losing this game. I say by a couple, maybe even 3 touchdowns. Clemson's going to get you back. They're going to rock the Valley. And by the third quarter, ETN will be over at SO drinking a beer. That's just my prediction. You'll lose that one. You're at Syracuse. You better be careful with that one, but I have a feeling you're going to win this game. I think you'll beat Syracuse. You're going to play Florida State. Now, maybe even a month ago, I did a whole thing on Florida State. More and more I think about it. Maybe it was the food I ate that night. I think Florida State's going to beat you. I thought Florida State might lose to you, but more and more I looked at their talent, how much you lost. And maybe it's just because I don't like how everything went last year. But I'm going to tell you, they will have the talent. I think Florida State will beat you. Then you play Wake Forest. Wake Forest could very well beat you guys. Very well beat you guys. But I have a feeling it's going to be a pumped-up Thursday night. You're going to beat Wake Forest. You're going to play at Louisville. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't know how to feel about Louisville, but I think you beat Louisville. And you play at North Carolina. North Carolina just sucks. You're going to beat them. There you go. I was asked for NC State 3 or 4 times so far since I've been doing my previews. That's what I got you going. What is that? Don't know how many losses. I won't count. You can go back and you can count it up. But anyway, I'm Bobby Dirkens. Remember, I'm on Instagram at @TheBobbyDirkens. Be releasing that album very soon, making fun of the Gamecocks of Columbia. Even if you're like, hey, I really don't have a beef with them, go buy it. It'll be hilarious. Pure unadulterated hate from those doo-doo pecking chickens down there. There's Bobby Dirkens saying I'm right. And if you disagree with me, you're wrong. Bobby Dirkens.